Much On Demand. I am joined by the lovely Melanie C. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you.
Can you even hear me?
No, I'm lip reading at the moment.
These guys are crazy. Very, very rabid fans.
Toronto is in fine voice today.
Okay, so you've just started your Canadian tour. Now, I know there's nothing like playing at home, but how is the crowd response in Canada?
Fantastic, actually. I was a little bit nervous because in the show we do songs from all 4 of my solo records, and of course 2 of them weren't released here in Canada.
Okay.
But people know the songs, and the people who didn't know the songs were getting great reactions, so it's really cool.
Now, it must be really fulfilling, you know, playing your solo stuff and going up on stage and having all the attention on you and everything. But is there ever any time where you get up on stage and you're kind of like, wow, I'm exhausted. I kind of wish Mel B or Jerry was here to kind of sing a little bit. Does that ever happen?
You know, I'm in such a different headspace when I'm performing as a solo artist, so I don't even consider them. You know, when I worked with the Spice Girls, the first time round it was, gosh, like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've been doing all my own stuff since then, so I'm kind of more comfortable doing that now. That feels more normal to me, you know?
And I guess you got a lot of high energy and, you know, you're going in there so you don't really get tired too much, do you?
Well, you know, I am Sporty Spice.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Nothing can bring you down. Okay, so last time we spoke, you actually said that the album had a lot of life experiences in it. And listening to it, there's a lot of love and heartbreak. And I was wondering, what is the most personal song on the record for you?
I think on this album, it's probably a song called Your Mistake. And it's about my parents breaking up when I was very young, and just how that's kind of affected me as I've grown up. And it's something I wanted to write about for a long time, but it never was the right time. But I wrote it with Adam Argyle, who appears on the album quite a lot. We write together, and we've sung together on this, and he's had similar experiences, so it was the perfect combination, really, so we could really understand what we both wanted to achieve with the song.
Now, a lot of people actually go through, you know, divorce and stuff like that. So do you feel it's important to sing about and to kind of let people know?
Hey, you know, when I was growing up, I think especially through my teenage years, it weighed heavy on my mind. You know, it was just trying to understand adults and relationships and my place in the world and belonging or feeling isolated. And, you know, if I can express those emotions, if there's people listening to the song who are feeling the same thing, you know, maybe they can find some solace in the song. And I love that about music.
Totally.
Music helped me through as a kid.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope that I can, you know, maybe help other people too.
Just give him back. Yeah. There you go. All right, well, we actually have Kizzer on a webcam. He's got a question for you. Kizzer, you there?
Okay.
I'm here.
All right, so you've got a question for Melanie?
Yeah, hey Melanie.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. I love your new album, by the way.
Thank you.
And I'm also really excited to see your show in London this Friday.
Yeah, me too. Cool.
My question for you was, your new single, Carolina. You speak about a girl who's had a rough start in life and who's trying to escape the pain and start again.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you wrote that song based on a personal experience, or is it just for motivational purposes?
Well, this one was actually inspired by a documentary that I saw. It was about runaways in Seattle, actually, and the images just stuck with me. And when I was working in the studio, those images came back, and I wanted to do like a storytelling song. So Carolina is a fictional character, but there is some comparisons in there with myself.
Oh, that's
so
really cool.
I can kind of identify with, especially with the chorus about, you know, running away and trying to find your future, you know?
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Thank you, thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Kizzer. All right, so, you know, you were just speaking about, you know, personal experiences and writing and whatnot. Do you find it harder to put yourself in different situations when you're not writing from personal experiences?
No, you know, that's kind of a different, what's the word I'm looking for? In that way, you're kind of acting, or you're drawing, or you're trying to. I try and identify with every song that I do, or sometimes I just put my head inside the person of who it is. You know, like some of the songs on this album, like This Time, for example, is a song written by Adam Argyle, and it's about in a relationship, the person singing has just really messed things up, and it's the end, and there's no way forward. And quite luckily, I've not found myself in that position, but I love singing. singing it, you know, because there's such a real, true emotion in it that I get a lot out of doing it.
Now, I actually have a question about that song because, you know, I was wondering, that song it's kind of sad. Listening to it, it's kind of a sad song. So I was wondering why you used that as your title track for the album. Is that kind of what you were feeling at the time, or?
No, I felt like This Time was a lovely album title and very separate from the song.
Okay.
You know, the song is a very sad subject matter, but I feel like this time, whenever I use that, I feel quite positive, empowered, like this time I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
This time it's going to be different, you know, and I felt like this album I wanted to go, yeah, this time is a great time.
Awesome. Very inspiring. Very inspiring. Now, when you're writing, do you ever feel like you're giving away too much of yourself? Do you ever like kind of scratch something off and be like, well, that's too personal?
Not really.
No?
I think the more true and honest, the better. I think people can identify with that more. And also, with my experience with music, is that when I listen to music, I kind of make other people's lyrics relative to me. So I find people do that with mine too. So it kind of keeps you safe.
Yeah.
And then you can always lie.
Yeah.
And if people say, is that about, you know, such and such a thing, and that, and you just go, no.
Made it out. Right on. Okay, well, we actually have another question. Becca in the audience here has a question for you.
My question is, if you could thank one person for getting where you are in your solo career, would you thank yourself for making it this far, or would you thank somebody else?
I think I will probably have to sit here for about a week naming every single person. You know, I've had so many great opportunities. I think the first person would be Bryan Adams. You know, we did a duet together. And, you know, he put a lot of faith in me to do the duet with him on his album. So that was my first departure from the Spice Girls, all on my own. And then working with incredible producers and songwriters, people like Rick Rubin, Marius DeVries, Rick Knowles. The list is endless, it really is.
Right on.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so we have a lot of fans outside as well. They've been waiting in the rain. Would you like to go out and say hi to them? Okay, let's go. There you go, Melanie C. Okay, we actually have Amanda with a question for you. Amanda, what's your question?
Hi.
Hiya.
What is your biggest fear while performing on stage?
Wow. Well, my pants have split a few times. That's not a really good experience. I suppose I forget the words all the time. That's not too cool. You know what? I think losing your voice. You know, like if your voice just totally went, that would freak me out. Yeah.
I can see that being a big one.
That would be quite a problem, yeah.
Well, speaking of performances, you're going to be performing later on in the show, so don't go anywhere. Mel C is coming back.
Thank you for coming out in the rain. I really appreciate it. See you later.
Welcome back to Much On Demand. All right, her album is currently available in stores as well as on muchmusic.com. She's touring